Good morning, Josh here, Dartmoor Reach Alpaca Farm Yoga and Glamping, and today we are looking at another parcel of land which is for sale in Devon. We are going to do an appraisal on this land to see if it is suitable to start a business on, a rural enterprise, and to live on. So this land is in a place called Sticklepath in Oakhampton, which is just in Dartmoor National Park. It has a guide price of £125,000, 5.8 acres of land, which is slightly less than the council like to see on a business plan for a rural enterprise. But don't forget, like we've said before, you don't have to own all the land that you do your rural enterprise on. You could rent some land off a neighbouring farmer, and the land that you rent doesn't have to be joining the land that you own. So as I've said on previous videos, that's a really important note to understand, is that you don't need to own all the land for your rural enterprise. Where we live on Dartmoor Reach, we own about 8 acres, and when we applied to the council for our rural enterprise business plan, we just said that we had an agreement with a neighbour that they would rent us an additional parcel of land which would bring it up to the acreage that the council like to see and that they think is a viable size bit of land for your business. So anyway, like I said, the land is in a place called Sticklepath in Oakhampton, which is just down the road from where we live, about sort of half an hour down the road. It's a beautiful spot. It is in Dartmoor National Park. Some people are wary of dealing with the national park, but as I've said before in previous videos, starting a rural enterprise is nothing sort of underhand, and there's no reason that you can't do it on any national park or out of the national park. You know, what you're doing is legitimate reason to live on your land, and the Dartmoor National Park can't refuse that. You might have a bit more bureaucracy to deal with dealing with the national park, but if and when you get your permission, that will probably the land that you own will pay dividends in the bureaucracy that you've had to get over to create your rural enterprise there and hopefully create your home. So on this land here, there is so it's 5.8 acres of land. You've got mains water supply, which is a big tick, and superb views over surrounding countryside, and that certainly is correct. The views from the land look amazing. You've got a timber stables and fodder store, which is very useful as well. So you've instantly got either a building there to house your animals that you're going to have on your rural enterprise, or possibly you might even be able to convert it into your temporary accommodation to live there while you carry out your while you prove to the council that your business plan is viable. Excellent local riding out to Dartmoor. So if you're into your horses, that's a big tick. The land is sold as freehold. What else do we have in the description here? The land is surrounded by stock fencing and mature hedges, which is a big tick. It's already stock proof. Sheltered close to the entrance is a timber field store and set of stables fixed to a concrete platform. The stables are constructed from a timber frame with timber cladding and comprises 2 loose boxes and a tack room. One thing that I did notice looking across this, well, actually the next thing is just the services. Mains water is connected to the land, no electricity. In this day and age, we don't really have to worry too much about an electricity connection. With solar coming on like it is, you can sort of be off grid with your power relatively easily, although it will come at a cost. But also you might find that there's an electric pole up there that you could tap into, get a quote from National Grid to get a new electric supply. But one other thing that I did notice on here was the land is reached by either of two private rights of way. So you get a right of way over someone else's track, is how I read that. It says access. The land is reached by either a right of way over an access track to the north from the public highway, or by a separate right of way to the south which leads to a bridleway. So the first thing that I would check when I went to view this land is what that access was like. It's obviously sold with a right of way over an access track, but if for whatever reason the person that owned the access track wasn't into you running your business from there, they could possibly make life hard. But you know, you've got a legal right of way over it, so there's probably nothing to worry about. So the price for this bit of land is £125,000. I would say that is about right. It's not a bargain of the century, but again, it's not crazy money. I mean, just the outlook over there is so beautiful that if you did get your planning, or when you got your planning, you would be sat on a bit of land that is worth probably £1 million when you've built your house. So yeah, well worth a look at this one. I think it's a very interesting bit of land. One thing you've got to do when you are searching for your land to live on is you just got to start doing viewings, because it's very easy to go and do a viewing. Most of the time you don't even have to meet the agents. You can just go and have a look around up there, and you very quickly get a sense of whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Maybe worth going and speaking to some landowners or neighbours up there, because you can get an awful lot of information from them, and you can get a general feel of whether the neighbours would be opposing your plan, or whether they'd be right behind you. You might find that they're all sort of doing the same sort of thing as you. They might all be smallholders up there, very interested in what you're doing and very supportive. Or you might get up there and you might find a miserable farmer that owns all the land surrounding it, who says, you know, there's no way that I'll let anyone live on that bit of land, in which case you might want to rethink your plans a bit. So that's that appraisal done. I hope you found it interesting. Please subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you soon.